Hi, Girly Pop Society. Is this a birth podcast or the WNBA? This week, we sit down with Rebecca Rogers, a beautiful mother of almost 2, and we hear her first birth story, why she chose the birth center, and her whole experience birthing her first son. So tune in. We can't wait for you to hear this sweet story. We believe a birth story doesn't begin with labor, it begins with her.
Welcome to Girly Pop Birth Talks, where we go beyond the delivery room. Each week, we interview a woman just like you and unlike you about her pregnancy, her birth, and also her becoming, and what led her to the most transformative experience of her life.
So grab a drink, a snack, and cozy up, because around here we go from laughing one minute to crying the next.
As we listen to the stories that shape us.
Because birth isn't just about babies, it's about the women who rise in the process. Rebecca Rogers.
Hello.
Welcome to Girly Pop Birth Talks.
Thank you.
So we have one brewing, one here.
Yes.
Babies. I cannot wait. Yes, babies. Cannot wait to get into this birth story. I feel like I know you, but don't know. Like I know of everything, but I don't know everything.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Always willing to share. Love to hear everyone's birth stories. So sometimes I start sharing and I'm like, is this stuff people want to listen to? But here I am just
here you are
talking away.
Sharing the birth story.
Yeah.
Well, share about yourself, what you do, who you're married to.
Yes, I am married to Matt, and we've been married for 4 years, and we have one son and one daughter on the way. I will share that. I know some people they keep it a secret or wait or whatnot, but we have a daughter on the way. But my son's name is Weston, and we live in the Lincoln area, and I work for a consulting company in Sacramento, and I'm on the accounting side of it. So just your typical office job, but still a great company and great employees and coworkers. So I do enjoy it as well.
Numbers.
I surprisingly do like numbers. So,
numbers.
We need you. We need people like that for us that are like, what?
Yeah. Number who? Is that hard to do pregnant? I don't know. Like when I think of an accounting or accountant, I just think of like someone at the calculator all day. Like,
yeah. Like,
is that not that way at all?
I do like more like accounting side, not accountant. That's a different beast and everything. But there is a lot of like punching and running tapes and like looking at credit cards and all that type of stuff. So
the pregnancy brain would make that hard. I feel like some days.
So, got to get up from the desk and move around. And luckily I'm hybrid, so I can have a little bit more like freedom to get outside and everything instead of being when I'm at the office on the 17th floor and reminding yourself to get up and travel all the way down to go outside. But
so is it like, because like we're in birth work, Ariel and I, and it obviously influences the way we view birth. I'm curious, like with your home finances, is that like a big thing that you like, is that not bothered, but like, is it more stressful or like more relieving knowing more about like numbers?
I think it's always nice to, I could definitely be better at budgeting and everything.
Okay,
but
so it's not like life changing.
Yeah, nothing like that. Our company works with all the school districts in California, so we consult with them and everything. So there's a lot of just sending bills to them and everything. So, but it always makes you question also what you're doing because you want to make sure you're doing enough and saving and properly paying your bills, because that's one of my things is asking people to pay their bill that they haven't paid for a while.
Oh, not fun.
Stressful.
We need to pause.
Oh my god. Mocktail. I've kind of given up on this whole jingle.
I think it's just gonna be mocktail.
Yeah. We need to get a custom song. Or I want a custom song.
Yeah.
But maybe she can do like a little mocktail song that we can just insert in and not have to like try to be voice actors anymore.
Yeah.
Because we're just not. Okay, what do we have here?
I was saying earlier, fall is coming. It doesn't feel like it. But we're going to do a little fall mocktail today. So this is just ginger beer, which is not actual beer, just to clarify, in case anybody doesn't know. And apple cider. That's it.
So yum. Thank
Hopefully.
you so much.
Yes.
I'll take that one.
Oh,
Just because we didn't wash this cup.
okay.
These are super
And then
cute
that one.
cups.
Okay, cheers. Oh yeah, these are our official Girly Pop Birth Talks cups.
Yes.
Okay.
Anthropology sponsored us.
Ooh.
Manifesting.
Uh-huh. Yum. Delish.
Yeah, that is good.
It's fall.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go to Bishop's.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Apple Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Apple Hill on Saturday
Okay.
last week.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Apple Hill and gone to like the like other than like High Hill
Yes.
and like the Boa Vista or Boa
Boa
Vista.
Vista.
Yeah.
Boa Vista.
Mm-hmm.
De la Vista.
Whatever it is.
The main ones.
The main ones.
Yeah.
Where you just like walk around, there's like 1,000 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh my God, like you're an adult. Surprise. And I could go to more than just these two. And so I looked up this like the wine trail in Apple Hill, and there's like 12.
Yeah.
So we thought we could do 5. We did 3.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so much fun.
Which one did you go to?
The first one, I don't remember the names.
Lava Cap is my favorite.
We didn't go to Lava Cap,
Mm.
but we went to this really beautiful one
Yeah.
and another really beautiful one.
They were all fun.
They were
That's
all
I
fun,
know.
and the wine tasted great.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, I could talk about wine forever, but
Same.
let's go all the way back. We were talking before we went live. What do you call it? I don't even know.
What?
Before we went on.
Oh, yeah, life.
Yeah.
That you were the biggest of your siblings when you were born. So I
Yes.
want to go all the way back to that.
Okay.
How many siblings do you have?
2 brothers.
Okay.
2 brothers.
And you were bigger than them when you were
I
born.
was, yeah.
Wow.
That's
I
my
was-
girl.
Yeah, I was born in April too, along with Weston, and I was also in labor on our anniversary. So April is a very big, big
Wow.
month. But yes,
Mhm.
I was born in April. I was 2 weeks early, and I was already
Oh.
9'4".
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And then 16 months later, my brother came, and he was 9'1". And then 2 years later, after my middle brother, my youngest brother came, and he was 4 weeks early and
Oh.
already 7 something.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
and I know my dad was 9 something, and one of my aunts was 10 on my dad's side. So there's just,
History there.
yeah.
Of bigger babies.
Yes. So
Wow.
I was kind of just mentally preparing for a bigger baby.
Yeah.
As we were saying, it was in a normal range. It's not like I just popped, like if it was 12 pounds, I'd be like, okay, that's
Something's different.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like I'm like 9 sounds normal to me.
Yeah.
So I was in the 9s, and yeah,
Mhm.
but my husband was in the 7s too. So I don't know if he was
Skinny boy.
Yeah, he was. And so yeah, I was just mentally preparing that was gonna happen.
I like that because
Yeah.
like we've talked a lot with our guests about how hearing about labor and birth impacts your choices
Mhm.
and your labor yourself. But we haven't talked about how I like that you said it was just normalized
Yeah.
to have a 9-pound baby
Yeah.
because I don't think that is typically normalized. But in your family, you
Yeah.
probably heard your mom say all the time, like, oh, you were 9'4".
Yeah, and that was like I don't remember my mom really talking about birth very much as a kid. There was random things I remember her talking about, knowing her weight. She didn't get sick with any of us, and I wasn't sick with either one in the first trimester.
Nice.
She said she only threw up once with the middle brother because she chugged a bunch of orange juice before she had left for work for the main part, and then got out of the car.
Yeah,
and
anybody would
threw
do
it up.
that.
So, but otherwise, like, I guess going back to family stuff, I grew up in the area. Mom, dad, 2 brothers, and I just kind of assumed you had kids. I knew even with like assuming, I knew I also wanted kids, but I just thought that's the way of life. That's what you do. And my parents are from this area, Sacramento, and they met and have been together since they were 16.
Aw.
So then, I kind of wasn't expecting that, but I think you kind of think, oh, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to meet who you are going to spend your life with and everything. And So, and then I thought you can leave college and you have a baby at like 25. Like,
This is exactly how I thought it went too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then that's not how it went. So I played basketball in college and did not meet anyone that I felt was worthy to continue life with. So kept going.
Where did you go to college?
Cal State Stanislaus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I went to Sierra College first and then got a scholarship to Stanislaus. And then life just kept going on. And then around 27, I had, well, closer to 28, I found out I had thyroid cancer.
No.
So,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so then and then you just look back at things too and you're like, this is maybe also why I wasn't, like you're like God's plan and how things just all lay out and everything, because it's like it would have been so hard to have a baby and then be taking care of myself, because I was probably like sick, and in terms of like being sick, just like tired and like puffy and everything for 2 years before I even realized what was going on.
I have so many questions about this.
So,
How did you find out?
I finally went to the doctors.
I mean, that's real.
Yeah. I think just 2 years of just feeling really off, and I'm like, what's going on? And then just mentally it's draining you. You don't want to go out, you don't want to date because you're just gaining weight for some reason, and you're tired and your hair is falling out and everything. So finally I had moved to Arizona and had insurance with my job, and I was like, I think it's finally time to go to the doctor. And it didn't take very much. Like, he like touched my neck and he was like, yep, you got to go get a biopsy. And then the biopsy came back, and then it happened really fast, like all within a month. Like, I got the biopsy, and like 2 weeks later I had my thyroid taken out.
And it was that simple? Taken out and the cancer's gone?
Yeah, I had they took out some of the nodules, and then I like a month later I did have to do 1 round of iodine radiation and like be away from people for a week. But then, so I guess in a 2-month period it was out, and then cleared, that all was good from there. So, but I do remember that at the time, around when, with everything, that my endocrinologist did say, if you want kids, like, since your thyroid's out, it's not that you can't get pregnant, just like be prepared that it might take some time.
That's what I was
to get
wondering.
pregnant.
Yeah.
But so I kind of always then had that in my head. So then I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, at that point I wasn't dating anyone. And then I met Matt at almost 31 and dated, and just took our time and grew together. And he traveled a lot for work, so we kind of just were just letting it go as it fell. And then finally got married, and then like a year and a half after that we started trying. And
okay, wait, we gotta go back. I have so many questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're in Arizona.
I'm like, were you scared? Were you?
Yeah. You were alone with cancer
in Arizona.
and you stayed. So you were 28.
Yeah.
You moved to Arizona for a job.
Yes.
Same type of field you're still in.
Yeah.
And then you find out you have cancer.
Yes.
What is that like? Did your family fly out, or was it like no big because you're so chill about it? I'm like, was there a GoFundMe? A Facebook support group?
So like, when it happened, I was living in Arizona with one of my friends, and then one other friend just happened to had to always come to Arizona for work in Phoenix. So it just happened to work out that the day that I found out, she was actually getting on a plane to go back to San Diego, but this plane was sitting on the tarmac, and she was like, she was sitting on there for like 2 hours, and so she was like, I'm gonna get off the plane and come hang out with you. So so had that support, and then when I had surgery, and everything. My parents came out and one of my other best friends from this area. And then my mom came out for when I had the iodine radiation. But it was kind of like the Matrix with the iodine radiation. They like brought it in this like steel thing, and the doctor like placed it in my mouth, and he had like a radar gun, and he like put it on me, and nothing happened. And then like 3 seconds later, he could step away and point it at me, and it's just like shot up.
So your mom stayed with you while you were like radioactive?
Yep.
She
So
took that risk.
she did. We just like another thing, my roommate just happened to be going on vacation that weekend, so we could sleep in separate rooms and use separate bathrooms and
Nice.
everything. So it all worked out, and
Wow.
here I am. But yeah, I remember obviously being sad, but I wasn't like, I was nervous and everything, but I guess I don't remember like having a breakdown about it. I was just like, this is, we got to get this out, and we'll move forward from there. And then so now here I am, and I get checked every year, and all is still good, and we're thriving. So, and it was nice to, at least I think it was more of a relief. Like I'm like, so I wasn't losing my mind.
Yes, all
and
those
like
symptoms.
my thin hair and everything. So it made sense, and I was able to regulate it from there and feel a lot better about myself.
So did those symptoms go away after the thyroid was out?
For the most part, they should. Like with the medication, that's, if it's off, then you can start to have like some symptoms, like I'm feeling more tired, and it's been 4 weeks. I should probably go get my levels checked out and everything like that. But like the hair loss and the puffiness and everything, once I had my thyroid out and taking the medication, that leveled it out and everything. But every once in a while, I'll have a time where I'm more tired. But then again, I'm like, I'm a mom and an adult.
It's hard to tell what's,
yeah.
So
have a job.
yeah. So, but thriving and feeling good. So I now just always tell people, if they're having issues, you should probably go get your thyroid checked out, because most people don't think of this stuff of how much it regulates your hormones and everything.
Yeah. Okay, so you wanted kids as a kid yourself.
Yes.
Then you find out it might be a struggle. And then you met your husband to be, but you said you guys were just like chill about it. So were you not like, date number one, just so you know?
No, like we knew we wanted kids and we were going to get married and everything, but Matt's old job, it's not as cool as it seems, but he had to basically go clean up test fields, mainly at military bases, and like clean up bombs. So so he would be gone a lot. So then it was like, we're together, we're married, but we don't see each other all the time. So we were just kind of taking our time. And then finally it was like, okay, I am getting older. And so he was home, and there was a job close here. So it's like we could consistently try instead of just one-off and everything. So
I guess I never considered that with like traveling. As someone that travels, it takes away from like, you can't have sex every
if you
cycle.
if you miss the ovulation window.
Yeah, and you can't really plan his job around.
Exactly.
I didn't even consider that.
Yes.
I was more thinking like, oh, that'd be so hard to have them away for pregnancy, waiting for delivery. But the whole getting pregnant thing is like another.
Yeah.
How'd you guys meet?
We met at a bar.
Oh, that's fun.
I was downtown with my cousins after a Kings game.
Okay, Sacramento.
We tagged along to one of my cousins' blind dates at the coin op, because she's like, no one's gonna know you guys are there with me. So
you were there as like kind of like safety.
Yeah,
I love that. I know.
Me and my cousin and her boyfriend, other cousin and her boyfriend, were just talking, and then my cousin was like, I think this guy behind you wants to talk to you, because I was like talking to them and throwing my hands all around, because I talk with my hands like no others. So, and that was basically it. He was stationed in Oceanside as a Marine, and so we've just always kind of started our relationship off as long distance and lots of traveling, and but it was meant to be because here we are. And he did get out. He was done with the Marines 6 months after we got together. So, and he's from Ohio. So then we did awkwardly have to move in with each other without much of, because it's like, you're either going to move back to Ohio when this is probably really going to dissolve because we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Or like, I know we've only been together for 6 months, but come to Sacramento and move on in.
I love that. And you were living on your own in Sacramento.
Yes.
So you're 31, you meet this guy at a bar. How was that like initial like dating? How long was dating before you guys got engaged and married?
Dating was about almost 3 years. When COVID happened, he did ask my parents in January of 2020 if he could marry me. And then in February of 2020, he went to Jordan for his work.
Oh.
And so we were planning on I was gonna go to Jordan, and and then he was also gonna have like 2 or 3 weeks off, and we had this huge like Europe trip plan, like Italy and
No,
I'm so
sad.
Yes,
yeah,
I know where this is going.
So like I do remember one thing makes me laugh. So he told me not to open his mail. But then like a thing came with Shane Company.
Oh my gosh.
So
He ordered it to the house?
Yeah. Well, he didn't. He had the ring shipped all the way to Jordan, but all the paperwork came to. So it's like, I don't have to open your mail. It just says it right
says
here
it
on
all.
front.
They should do better about that.
Yeah.
Like they know
So-
Shane Co should
Yeah.
tell
It should
Shane.
say like, don't open.
Yeah.
Something's coming.
or just nothing.
Nope. I like
Yeah,
the suspense.
So he did tell me that he was going to propose on the Europe trip, and I was like, let's just leave it as it is.
Yeah. You don't need to share that.
You don't have to share that.
Could have kept that one to yourself.
But then he came home, but that we were separated for 7 months because
Oh my
we
gosh.
couldn't do anything.
Did he get stuck in Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So you don't get your ring and you don't get your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh
pretty
my
much.
gosh.
I would have died.
Yeah, it was rough.
I don't have the
Especially during
strength.
COVID. And in
Yeah.
those first 7 months, everything was so unknown.
Yes.
So
That's just how it went. And
Wow.
then he came home, and we did finally go on a trip. It wasn't to Europe, but we went to
San Francisco. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
yeah, we went to back to Phoenix, and we went to Zion, and then
Ooh.
we went to Denver. So we did like the whole
Nice.
thing, and he proposed in Zion. So
wow.
and where he was going to propose to me, there was a lot of people there. So then he started like, we were making our way back down the trail, and he started like setting up the GoPro and everything in the middle of the trail, and there wasn't anyone there, but I'm very like, follow the hiking rules, and I'm like, what are you doing?
You're not allowed to do
Yes,
this.
this is not a good idea. There's people coming. So we had to scratch that idea. And then he proposed back we were glamping, so
Oh, fun.
at our tent and everything, and then I
That's
was
so-
awkward with
so
that.
funny to me because I feel like every time I hear a proposal story, including my own, these poor men, they try their best, but they're always doing these things, like not thinking it all the way through or whatever. And then it's always the girls that are ruining it
Yeah.
because we're like, you can't do this. And it was
Yes.
the same. Kyle proposed at a Christmas tree farm, and we took my car, which wouldn't fit a Christmas tree. And I was like, we're not getting a Christmas tree. It's
Yeah.
not going to fit on my car. And he's like, just don't worry about it. And then I'm like, wait, we didn't bring enough cash. It's cash only. Like I just kept trying to ruin it. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
He's like, we're not getting a tree. I want to get my girlfriend.
I know.
Or my wife.
Matt was like, I really love the life we built together, and I like went like this. And then, like, he was like,
During his
There's the hands.
and then he was like, it's like, I'd really like you to have my last name. I was like, I would like that too.
Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. So like, I wasn't like
you guys are you in your glamping tent? And you're like,
yeah, we were like outside it in like this nice, like serene
Oh my
area.
gosh.
And
he's like, let me do my
yeah,
speech.
and then that's basically what he said. He's like, can you please shut up? Like, so
That's funny.
Yeah, I wasn't the whole like, oh, this is
Yeah.
awesome. I was awkward and like, and
I
that's
love
been our
that.
relationship ever since because I'm still awkward,
Yeah.
but that's all right. It makes it interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
love it. He's having fun.
So, yeah.
I don't think you're awkward, but I love the people that are aware of their like quirks.
Yeah.
Because then it just becomes a part of you that's like not the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I would never describe you as an awkward person.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Just I maybe obviously I would describe that, but I am aware and I can poke fun at myself.
Yeah.
So and
Makes it
it is
better.
funny because you see a lot of the cute
Yeah.
Instagram ones, and then and then I like to see the ones where like the girls are cussing and like like
The one that
more real.
always gets me is that woman. It's like they're proposing in the apple orchard, and she's like has an apple in her mouth like mid bite. She's just like looking all like
Oh my
barbaric.
gosh.
And then he gets down on one knee and she's like, "No!" And she takes her apple out of her mouth and throws it in his face.
Oh,
And he like fell back. And I was like,
that
"Oh,
hurts.
oh girl,
Yeah.
that is awkward."
Yeah.
And on
sounds
top of
bad.
that, it went viral.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
Of course it did.
So yeah, we have awkward moments. Let me say that.
But you kept your
we,
composure.
Yeah, we kept the composure, but I haven't been able to look at it on GoPro because
You haven't watched
I'm
it?
like, I don't know.
You're like,
I'm
I remember it actually
yeah,
perfectly.
I remember saying things and using my hands, and so I think
least
we
you're
can
consistent.
leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, but and then
Okay.
we were married in Lake Tahoe.
Oh.
And so that was April of 21. And then,
Oh,
What
so a
date's your
shorter engagement.
yes. So we figured, it's COVID. So let's just go up and be with our small family and a couple friends. And then 6 months later, we had a big reception.
Mhm.
So and
What
we-
day's your anniversary?
April 10th.
Okay.
Aw.
Yeah. And Weston's April 11th. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So
And what's the due date? Oh, this is November.
November 9th. But we like 11s. So Weston's
Oh.
11, Matt's June 11th.
Oh.
We're already in November, so there's at least 11.
And I was thinking for some reason your due date was 11/11. I don't know why I thought that.
I
So,
honestly feel like
maybe
I'm,
we're
I'm
just-
trying to throw it out
Yeah.
there because then that's also Veterans Day. So that's a
Yeah.
big day for Matt too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
I love 11/11. I have it tattooed on my ankle.
Aw. Yeah.
And
And maybe that's a sign right
it's a
there.
sign.
Yeah.
There we go.
I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
baby on, not my baby. I attended a birth on 11/11, and it was so special, and it just felt all divine.
Yeah.
And then I just talked to someone else, and I'm going off topic, but they were engaged they got married on 11/11,
Okay.
and she's due on 11/11.
Aw.
Aw.
And I'm like, "Ugh." But
That's
babies,
special.
that's so rare.
Yeah.
I know, that's the
They're
thing.
born on their due date.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but-
Okay, so you got married.
Mhm.
You said you guys started to try.
we didn't start trying
years?
until almost 2 years.
Okay.
He was finally at home. There's a lot of Arizona in our life. He was actually in Arizona from pretty much our reception for then he was there for a year and a half. So, but I was traveling and seeing him a lot, and
Mhm.
we were having fun. And so when he finally came back and everything, luckily there was a job going on at Beale.
Mhm.
So that helped, and he was able to stay home. So we were like, all right, we got to try. And but then you're getting nervous because you just hear everyone's stories and
Yeah.
everything, and just how long it can take. And you're 35, so you're
Mhm.
thinking okay, I'm
geriatric.
already, I'm geriatric. And
Thanks, Ariel.
I'm-
I just
I
reminded
think it's so
myself.
ridiculous. I like to say it.
I'm crippling and all this stuff.
Your walker going
Yeah.
over to.
Trying to get pregnant, guys. So just started trying, and the first couple tries you're like, this is fine. And there were 2 cycles where I had the flu, or not the flu, but I was
Oh.
sick. So when I was ovulating, I wasn't feeling well and everything.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the 5th try, and then you start to get even more nervous, and you
Mhm.
cry when your
Mhm.
period comes, and then you're just thinking are we going to be able to what if because one thing with his jobs, they can just abruptly stop, like, because he's on contract. So then, and Beal is one where like they always just abruptly stop.
Wow.
Even though they're supposed to go for so long. So I guess finally on the 6th try, there was just different stuff going on like in my body that I was like, I think this is working. I think like
between ovulation and
being
able to test.
With when it was time, the cervical mucus was way thicker, like because I was already like looking at it every time, but this one I was like, this is a lot. This is a good sign. This is a good cycle. So like, and so then that July came around because that's when conception was, and it all worked out. So then pretty much also I don't really get headaches, and the day after conception I woke up with a headache,
like the day after you guys were together.
We conceived basically. I like woke up and I was like, I don't get headaches in general. So then I had that, and then like a couple days later my breasts hurt so bad.
Oh my gosh.
And they were lumpy, and my thought went directly to something else. Like I was like, I need to go get checked out. So went to the doctors, saw a PA. At that point my breasts weren't hurting anymore a couple days later, but she's like gave me a pregnancy test, and she's like, okay, these pregnancy tests aren't very good, so like until you like literally have a missed period, it's probably going to tell you it's negative. And it came back negative. But then I was sitting in there, and the PA and assistant were outside, and they're like, I'm pretty sure she's pregnant. And I
heard them say that?
Yeah. So like,
oh my gosh.
So then a week later I took a test a few days before, because another thing with me is that I spot a little before my period comes, and I wasn't spotting. So I was like, I feel like this is it.
So you just knew from like the first day.
Basically. And and we I took the test and said it was pregnant, and
yay.
So, and once again, just really excited.
Did you say, look at the life we've built?
Pretty much.
I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant. Look at this.
I love it.
That's really how it kind of went down.
So with the thyroid cancer, were there any like I don't know the word, but was there any considerations around the pregnancy?
No. So obviously all women get their thyroid levels checked, and mine did go up out of range, and I was exhausted. Like that was my biggest symptom, like sheer exhaustion. No, I didn't have that with her and everything, but when I got the test, they adjusted what I needed to take, but I was so tired that I forgot to do the adjustment. So then when I went 4 weeks later to my appointment and they tested me again, it was at a scary level. Like it was like 19.2.
Your TSH?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So then that was like the only time I was a little nervous about it. But once again, my OB wasn't like she's like, let's just adjust it and take it this time. So, and then once I had the adjustment and everything from there, I was okay and in range and everything. So then it was, I had to talk about it and everything, but there wasn't any concern. Like when I went to the check out the birth center, they weren't like, sorry, we can't take you because of this and everything.
That's good to know for like other women. Hopefully no one else has gone through this. But
So you said you went to the birth center. So how did you get there? When you first found out you were pregnant, what were you thinking? As far as, the birth you wanted.
Yeah. I knew like I didn't really want to be in a hospital. I think I had started to, think and thinking in general and then it appeared on Instagram.
Yes.
I didn't say it out loud.
No, but there's something to that. I've had that experience where I'm like, how does Instagram know what's in my brain?
Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty positive I have not shared this with anyone yet or typed anything into a search bar for this to be coming up. So just started hearing more about birth centers. So then I was like, well, let me Google birth centers around here. And California Birth Center, not far away. So went to check it out.
Did you know, like, this means no epidural. Had you already thought about that?
Yes, I knew I wanted to go the unmedicated route, and I just knew like one other thing with my mom's birth, with at least me and my middle brother, she didn't have epidurals.
Okay.
But that was because they didn't have the insurance to have the epidural. So
Oh.
she had one with my third because they had the insurance.
She's like, I'm gonna take this.
And I was like, you really need it. You didn't need it.
I know.
He wasn't as big as
Yes.
us. Like,
She was
a little
probably
bean.
preparing
Yeah.
for like the biggest baby yet.
Yes. So I just knew, I think COVID made me think more about health.
Yeah.
I've always been big into health as I've played sports and everything. And, you know, that looked different at different stages of my life. And like slowly cutting out fast food and not drinking like soda, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, stuff like that. So just slowly learning more and more about health. And I was like, I want to do this unmedicated. I don't want stuff in my system and everything. So I checked out the birth center and I took Matt along, and he never said like no, even going into it. So we went, and it was really refreshing because like once we left, sometimes you have to like prompt your husbands, hopefully not. Like, how'd you feel about that?
Wasn't it really safe and amazing?
Yeah. But he, by himself, he's like, I like it. I think we should have the baby here. So that was like, that made it a done deal, because not having to talk Matt into it was, because I know some women have to do that and everything, because we're conditioned to think like the hospital's the best spot. And so then we went, and I had to probably be like right into my second trimester when we started care there and everything. But I did keep my OB and go to some appointments because I just wanted to keep the communication open and just in case there was a transfer and everything. And then from there, I don't know, maybe it might have been like just being at the birth center and hearing more and more about doulas. And then I was like, I think I want a doula too. So then I like Googled doulas, and here we are.
Yes.
Rebecca Rose. And so I was like 28 weeks pregnant when like the doula idea came and everything. So everything seemed a lot faster then, because I was like, yes, we want to do this. And then I had Tracy, Rowe, and Yarden. And that was probably like the hardest part, was who do I pick to be like the primary one? Like I was like, I can't, this is a tough decision. So we went with Tracy, and it was awesome to have her on the whole journey, the last trimester of the journey and everything, and be able to like really talk about what we want and have someone listen. And Yarden was there too. So listen to people listening to you and what you vision as your birth story and everything, and writing it down and telling you it's possible. And that so I just enjoyed it, that when we found out we were pregnant with number 2, I was like, yep.
I'm pretty sure it's 7 weeks you emailed or something.
I did.
Really
I went
early.
to the confirmation. And then like after I got home from the appointment, I was like, let's
Rebecca Rose do it.
Because then I knew that I wanted Tracy again.
Yeah.
And we have Roshanae, who might actually, we are having a home birth now, that she might come so that Weston can stay with us. So that's our biggest decision in this pregnancy right now, is how comfortable I feel having a 19-month-old hanging out with us at a birth.
Biggest thing with the home birth.
So
okay. So I remember hearing your birth story when I came over for lactation help, but it's fuzzy, which is good because I get to get all excited all over again. But did you go late, or? I was so everything started 1 week early. So at 39 weeks, Matt and I had some time together. And then I went to the bathroom to clean up, and there was a lot more fluid. And then I was like,
I think my water broke.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I love how often this, we've already had multiple stories of that exact trajectory.
Yeah.
Never worked for me.
And I feel like I remember too, because he was still traveling late in your pregnancy.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was another consideration with the doula. It was like, I want someone that's definitely going to be there because my husband's schedule is kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, that was it. We both ended up having our like last day of work on the same day. He was just in Vegas at the time and had to drive home, and it all worked out. But that was one of our main things that I wanted the extra support because
just in case.
Yeah, going back to learning about birth as a kid and everything, I didn't really like, I love my mom, but I didn't picture her being at my birth and everything. So like I kind of, because of learning about birth and kind of you just, you know, you have a baby. That's basically how it was and everything. So like I just, didn't picture anyone else being at our birth except Matt and I, and then people that wanted our birth is their way, their being
what they do.
and what they do and what they enjoy and everything. So
makes a big difference.
So yeah, that was why we chose to go with a doula. And then at 39 weeks, yes.
So your water potentially broke.
Yes. And we were on our way to Sacramento to do a CPR recertification. And he's like, well, why don't you call Tracy? Matt said this. Why don't you call Tracy? And I was like, I don't want to bother her.
My doula that
not what we're there for.
Like I'm trying to use like the COATS acronym and everything, right? That's not, like, I'm like, you know, like color and odor and everything. And I'm like, so, and then we were driving there and he's like, if you don't call Tracy, I'm calling her.
Were you still feeling fluid? Like this is still happening?
Sitting down, I wasn't really feeling anything. So I called and she, you know, she's like, yes, please call me. And just kind of told me like, gauge, see how, like, let things kind of go, as we're always told, even at a hospital, they don't want you coming right away and all that. So I was like, all right, well, we'll just keep going to Sacramento. And then I got out of the truck and it was like a movie star. Like,
oh my gosh,
everything that was like puddling in there just came gushing out.
Slide, yeah.
So, and even Matt, I had on like black leggings and Matt was like 10 feet from me and he could see it like coming down my leg and everything.
Oh
so
my
he was like, so I guess we're not going to be doing this today. So he had to go in and be like, my wife's in labor. So
oh my God.
We picked up pizza and we went home. And then I did call the birth center and they're like, just come in around 9 so we can do like a non-stress test and just check everything out. And so I went around 9, was fine with sleeping. Like I still woke up at like 4 a.m. and wasn't tired enough to take a nap.
So what time did the water break?
The water broke at 6 p.m. the night before.
Got it.
And then I woke up at 4. Nothing, like I hardly like had a Braxton Hicks. Like, and even in that period where like you think you're gonna feel like a little bit, like
nothing.
There was nothing.
Any like mucus or any soft signs?
Not anything big with that either. Like, and then so went at 9 and they gave me the castor oil and told me like, take this around 6 tonight if nothing's happened, because then you're 24 hours without or with your water being broke. And I didn't really want to do that. I was like, that just sounds gross. Like, I was like, yeah. So I did try acupuncture. I was able to get in and everything. So
did you go to Rockland?
Somewhere in Lincoln. I just went close and everything and did it. And you know, it could have worked, or it's just like, you know, my baby was coming when my water broke. So baby was coming at some point. And
I love that you followed your intuition on that, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I was like, I will take it if I really need to, because I would rather be at the birth center than having to go to the hospital.
Well, and castor oil over Pitocin is like.
Yeah, that sounds.
I don't know.
So yes. So around 6 p.m. that night, backtrack. After we went to the birth center, we went to Costco, and I was like, I'm in labor, but nothing's happening. And so like, now I was like, now I'm just going to question every woman that looks like she's close to me. Like, are you in labor right now? Cause I walked around in labor.
Yeah.
Like,
you have this, like, I never thought that you have the secret.
Yeah.
Like, I'm walking around in labor.
Yeah,
Like, nobody knows.
My portal's open.
yeah, exactly. So like,
It is like a superpower.
yeah. And I was like, women were doing this before, like walking around Costco.
Yeah.
And a baby could just come.
Did anybody say like, "Oh, are you due soon?" And you're like, "Actually,
No.
right now."
Yeah. Well, no, not at Costco, but then we stopped at Dutch Bros. And they always ask what you're doing and everything.
Oh my
Matt
gosh,
was
yeah.
like, well, actually, she's going to give birth soon because her water broke. And they gave us free coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what we have to do. I like go to Trader Joe's later, and I'm like, not Trader Joe's, Dutch Bros later.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's will give you a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah.
If you say like,
really?
"I'm actually in labor right now."
Oh, they probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ariel got me these birthday glasses. My birthday was last week.
Happy
and
birthday.
Thank you. And they were the only sunglasses in the car the other day. So I put them on because it was bright. That's why we have sunglasses. So I go through the Starbucks drive-thru, and she's like, "Oh my God, is it your birthday?" And I'm like thinking like somehow like she just knows it's my birthday because like I come here every day.
Like we're talking about.
Like,
That's how you think, is like, you're the most special person in the world and everybody will know.
It's a really, really
love
special
it.
trait about me. And so I'm like, I said, yeah, it was just my birthday. And she's like, happy birthday. I was like, thank you. So then I'm expecting she's going to give me my coffee for free. And then she's like, oh, it'll be $6.75. And I'm like,
Rude.
and then I like go home, or like then I go to your house actually. And then she's like, well, it's because your glasses, Becca. And I was like, oh,
this makes sense.
that makes a lot of sense.
It says
Oh my
it.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get free coffee.
Get free coffee.
Your water's broken.
Yeah, we go home, and I just try to relax. I can't sleep. I'm, thinking of a bunch of stuff.
This is the second night that your water's been broken, right?
Yeah.
6 p.m.
Yeah, it would be like he was
on the
born
9th? Or
good question. I can't. Yeah, on the 9th. So on the 9th, everything started 9 o'clock or 6 o'clock on the 9th. And then we're just traveling to 6 o'clock
on the 10th.
on the 10th.
So it's 24 hours, but second night of rupture.
Yes.
Okay.
So did the acupuncture. I don't really remember what time I did that at. It was in the afternoon. And then
sorry, did you do the acupuncture where it's like the 3 steps where it's like
yes.
Like the heat, the expansion, explosion, whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. We did everything, because I did like look around. I was like, could you like for pregnancy? And so found one, and they did all of that, and then went home, had dinner, I would assume. and then around 6 p.m. that's when contractions started. So I remember like, yay, I don't need to take the Castro.
Point, your body's like,
yeah.
okay.
And then I was working through the contractions, and like I can't really remember the progression of them, like how quickly like they started, but Matt was timing them. And basically like the most comfortable thing was when they started was just to crawl around the room. So like I was just on hands and knees, and it would start, and I would just start crawling on the floor. And I was like, but I'm like, this is working, so I'm just gonna go with it.
Which is funny, because didn't you birth in hands and knees?
I did a lot of pushing
in hands and knees.
Yeah.
I love that was like your birthing like way.
Yes. So I just kept doing that. And then finally Matt called Tracy, and she came over, and she had Matt turn off the like not time them for a little while. And I got in the tub, and she helped with different positions and using the peanut ball and everything. And then she had him start timing them again, and she's like, yep, we can go to the birth center. So called, and it was Elise. So I was super excited about that. I love all the midwives at the birth center, but there was just like something that I like, oh, it'll be cool if I could get Elise.
Yeah, there's always that one special connection.
So went to the birth center and had Elise check me, and this was now almost 2 a.m. on the 11th.
Okay.
And so that was 8 hours of birthing or laboring at home.
Okay.
And we went in and I had her check and I was 9 centimeters.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, oh,
love
this is,
You
I was
did
like,
it.
yeah, I was like, I mean, the contractions were, they were intense and you feel them and everything. But I was like, wow, like,
That's it.
when I like look back at it, I was like, well, that it wasn't also that bad. Cause like, here I am like thinking I was going to be like, that was the intensity and I was going to be at a way less dilated. So I was like, oh wow, this is, and nowhere in my head was, I was like, oh, like maybe we'll be home for breakfast. But like, I was like, there's a good chance we could be out of here. Cause you just, once you have the baby, you're only there to like rest for a little bit and, you know, get fed, clean up, do all that you need to, and you go home. So with it being 2 o'clock in the morning, I thought like I could easily be home and in the morning.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that wasn't the case. So, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
I was all excited for you. I'm like, oh, we get to go home by 9.
Yeah.
Get back in bed.
At that point, it just all stalled.
Okay, this is what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, did you go late? There was something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything stalled in the like.
Once you got to the birth center?
Yeah. So, and he wasn't born until basically 1 p.m.
Ooh.
So, yeah, there was 11 hours of sitting.
Oh my gosh.
And
11. There's that number.
Dang, good call. So,
as like peaceful and uninterrupted and good the birth center is, it's an interruption to labor.
Yes.
Like any other interruption, that can happen in any setting.
Yes.
And it's the most, I don't want to say dangerous, but like the most risky thing with like having, like, obviously you don't people at your birth, but like having people at your birth.
Yes. And that's what made me like want to do a home birth with this one, is that like, I was like, I, in the long run, I had the team that I wanted from like even having a lease and everything. And but then I was just like, I think just,
getting in the car, driving.
And I was we from, the end of Lincoln, because we live at the far end, to the birth center is still like a 10-15 minute drive. And luckily it was at 2 in the morning, because we all know how 65's traffic is if you're from this area and everything. So I was like, man, thank goodness we did this at least happen at night. But that was the most uncomfortable ride. You're trying to focus, like you're trying to like, you know, not snap at Matt, and then like, which I didn't ever snap at him, but like you're just trying to like be like, drive fast, drive safe, get me there. Like, I want to get out of this car.
Was the vaginal exam comfortable?
Yeah, so
it wasn't that.
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all. And but just I think the transfer just and
knocked you
then
out of it.
I was so focused and doing it well and going as I should. And then, you know, you get to be in these wonderful rooms at the birth center and everything. And you have this big bed and you have a tub that even with my height, I still didn't fit in. With one of the contractions, I didn't break it off, but I snapped off the foot rest.
Yeah, the little
there's foot rests?
Yeah, there's like
after your time.
Oh, I can't even picture that.
Yeah, then I'm just kind of getting in my head at this point. Like I said a couple times, I'm like, I think I need to go to the hospital.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't need to go to the hospital. I think like, even though I know my birth team is there to hang out with me for as long as my birth is, like I think, it's
human
it
of
gets
us.
in your head.
Like,
you start to feel like you all got out of bed for me.
Yeah, you're waiting. Like, should we go do this somewhere else? And
you're like, I'm fine to go walk around the mall if you guys want to go.
And finally, like, and they knew I didn't want to go, so they weren't even. No one was even saying anything.
Responding to it.
Yeah, they were just like. And finally, like the 4th time I said it, Elise was like, "I can't send you because you're fine. The baby's fine, and like you are like 10 centimeters, and like we're just trying to get this baby to be like in the best position for you to get out, because I didn't ever have an urge to push. So there was.
Were you still contracting?
Yeah, still contracting, and so I was just sitting there, and then I was just like, am I going to be able to get this baby out because of everything? And
Mm-hmm.
um, finally, I believe it's Kylie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Kylie came in and was like, she just started, you're going into every position. So we did that even at after when I was postpartum, I saw Tuesday, and she was like, I actually never saw Tuesday before.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw her afterwards, she was like, yeah, they put you in every single position to try to get you to, get that baby to move and everything. So
You're like too comfortable.
yeah, finally it was like time. I was on my hands and knees and pushing and everything, and everyone was around me. And I remember like Tracy sitting like right in front of me, and then like Matt was on my side, and like Tracy was just chilling. She was like, I was like, there's no worry in her face, so I don't need to be worrying.
Yeah.
She was just giving me like, you got this. And I was like, perfect. Like that in my head, I was just, and Matt was helping and doing like, he was giving suggestions, and he was just amazing. And
you had the urge to push at that point?
at that point I did. And then we were doing it, we were pushing and we were going, and they asked if I wanted to feel his head coming out, so I felt it. And then I feel like as a first time mom, I was like, as I've read before, like you kind of feel like they're getting sucked back in after. So you're like trying, like, you're like, yeah, stay right there. And so they're like, I think Elise asked again, do you want to feel his head? I'm like, nah, I'll feel him when he's out.
Yeah. I got a whole life with him.
Yeah, like we're all right now. Let's just get this kid out. So, but yeah, I pushed a lot, and then surprisingly, I ended up pushing on my back, which I didn't want to do. But that was minus the water, being on my back was actually one of the only reliefs.
And this was on the bed?
Yeah, on the bed. And then, so just finished it out that way. And
there's nothing wrong with birthing on your back. It's just if you want to birth on your back. It's just being told.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the great part. But about anything about birth, you don't want to be told how to do it.
Right. So
do you remember or happen to remember like the station of Weston when you were 9 centimeters?
I don't. That's one thing I'll have to ask. Maybe Elise could look it up for me this time and everything. Those little things I don't remember, like where he was at exactly. I do know with one thing I'm working on now is that I do have very tight hips and everything. So I've been doing way more birthing exercises and everything to just like get everything open as much as possible this time. So, but in general, he came out healthy, 9-1. And I didn't tear.
Wow.
Yeah. And I will say, like, with like the Ring of Fire, like I thought I was tearing. Like I was
it feels like you're tearing.
Yeah. You're just like, you're like, I can't stop this now. So like, we got to just do it, and it's going to happen. And I think, actually at the, for the 28 week or what I listened to I did the Zoom call instead of talking with Tracy and Roshane, and you said something like about tearing, and I was like, that's what I need to remember. Like it's like there's a high chance it's going to happen, but like then it's just done, and you heal. And the next day you're just walking around. So like
I had 2 second-degree tears, and I don't want to say that it's not a big deal because you're tearing, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Like I was like, oh, that, you're just walking around the next day. It's not super comfortable, but it's not, obviously 3rd and 4th degree is a different thing.
And I do think my fear of tearing also made everything stall out too, because I didn't want to. It wasn't that I was like super afraid of tearing. I just didn't want to have the bad tear where it caused me to go to the hospital to get stitched, because you're like, I just did all this work. I really wanted to have my baby here, and I still had, he's out, he's healthy. Now and then I have to still go to be stitched up. So like I think I was like, the fear of tearing too bad was like in my head. So with that, and then I think that not the transferring, I think those were the 2 things that really, really held me back and everything. So
yeah, like hearing your story all the way through, and I don't need to like dissect it and like investigate it and give you my opinion, but hearing it, maybe knowing that you were 9 centimeters and the surprise of like, oh, I'm like there,
yeah,
could have been like even subconsciously of like, oh, the next step is to push this baby out.
exactly.
And that's like a really big thing to accept, even if
Yes.
you're like wanting it to happen.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. So, you know, and I think then you kind of get in your head after the baby comes, you're like, okay, my birth really did go as planned. But then you like think of you're a new mom and you're just thinking of everything and you're just like, man, but it could have been perfect if
You gaslight yourself.
yeah, and then
yes.
like it was nice having Tracy and Yarden come over afterwards and then like be like, well, here's how we see it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and then you realize that you're a badass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, yeah. And
Yeah.
It is funny how
Yeah.
women do that after, myself included.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immediately
like, was that
after.
weird that I screamed like that?
Yeah.
Or was I too loud? And
Yes.
no.
Yeah.
Did I do something wrong? It's because I didn't do this that my labor ended up being this long. And so it's nice to have other people there that aren't your family. You know, they know birth, like you were saying. So they can kind of tell you like, actually, you were incredible.
Yeah.
Everything went perfectly.
I think, speaking of like being loud, I definitely was loud, and I'm more of like in any other situation, I'm more of like a close down and be quiet type of person. So I didn't know how it was going to go, but you know, after 7 hours or 11 hours of stalling out basically and needing extra time, yeah, I definitely was starting to make a lot of noises when it was time to push and the contractions and everything. So
and it feels so good to let yourself go there.
Yes.
But it can be hard to be like, to let yourself go there.
Yeah. And as I'm okay with sharing all my everything that happens in birth, I definitely threw up a little bit, but it was like one dry heave. It wasn't a whole lot. And then I did have a bunch, like my butt hurt so bad. Like everyone talks about the back pain, but I thought my butt was gonna fall out. And because I was sitting there for so long, I felt like I just needed some sort of movement coming out of me. So I did ask for an enema, and I was like, "Can I just like have something? Can I feel something?
Yeah,
this baby won't come out, so maybe I'll poop.
Maybe like." And so, obviously, being on my hands and knees and having the enema and everything and then being unmedicated, I did also poop a little bit, but no one which is Elise just wiped it away and was continue on.
When we see poop as birth workers, we're like,
so
that is like the best thing that we can see.
And so I just, whenever I hear a woman like really not want it, like that's their biggest fear, I'm just like, well, a lot of times you're in the hospital on your back, so you don't even notice that you're doing it. But I'm like, I don't think that's a thing you have to worry about.
No,
like I think
the least you're not going to be thinking about that at all.
Yeah, but even that, at least from what I saw, wasn't a whole lot. But after I took the enema, I was like, I'll probably it's probably going to be more prominent because I asked for some movement down there and everything. But other than that, it was a lovely experience and made me so excited that I want to do it again. So
I love how your intuition guided you through the whole thing. Like you just and I want you to change that language in preparing for this baby's birth. Like you didn't stall.
Yeah.
You were preparing to birth your baby.
Yes.
And sometimes that pause is so necessary, not because of anything's wrong or like something's not happening. It's just literally like, it's the biggest thing ever. You're becoming a mom.
Yeah.
And that takes a minute.
And that's even this past time that talking with Tracy and Roshanae, they said that there's like, you know, like we'll never know the exact reason why, but there was a reason you needed to sit in that time for 11 hours. And
that was the transformation.
Yeah. Just be able to, something you needed to do it for some reason. So, and then obviously having Elise too, she was awesome and also talked about it and everything. And then able to talk with Matt and everything, because Matt did snap at one time and need to like go outside. So like that's his like, he feels so bad about it. And everyone's like, you were okay. Like, this is a big situation and big time for both of you. And
Yeah.
you're watching your wife be in pain that you can't take away.
Yeah.
So like,
and to watch everyone around her be like,
yeah,
that can be like, well, do something.
Yeah. Why are you just hanging out?
Yeah.
And so
Totally get that.
yeah, I think that was his biggest challenge, is that he felt bad snapping on everyone, but they all were like, you were okay.
It's hard to sit in that. It's hard to like watch someone be uncomfortable and that be totally normal.
Yeah. And yeah, so it wasn't a tough decision for doing a home birth. I think we did, or I did at least. I was, once we were trying to decide again and realized insurance wasn't going to work with the birth center and everything, it was going to be the same amount for being with Elise or being at the birth center. And I just had this vision of being able to both my babies have the same exact birth team, right? So that was easy. But I did obviously think, I'm like, well, I can go to the hospital because it would only cost me $250.
Yeah.
And so, but that's
hard.
like, you don't want that. I don't want that. So we'll just pay
It's
for
an investment.
Yeah.
Well, and if you stalled going to the, we're changing the language, but going to the birth center, I would think the hospital would feel even more unsafe. I mean, this labor is going to be different, but was that a big part in deciding to do a home birth as well? Like that's the part of your story where things changed.
I didn't want to also sit, it's hard. It is hard not to say stall.
You can say stall.
But I agree.
In preparation for this baby.
I agree. I like having different, like looking at it at a different way, but sitting with your feelings. Sitting with your feelings and the intensity.
Yes.
I was like, even though I would say I need to go to the hospital, that would have been a perfect example where like they would be like, yes, Pitocin, or
absolutely,
like this or that.
Let's fix it.
Yeah. So,
and no way would they have let you sit in your feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
For 11
They would be
hours. Absolutely not.
A lot of intervention on, and I do believe that every woman should do exactly what they need to do and want to do. You're amazing however your baby comes out. That's
finally.
As we were saying, you're a badass to all the moms. I just wanted to be unmedicated, and I didn't want anything pushed on me unnecessary. So I did there was a lot of blood coming out afterwards, so I did end up having 2 shots of Pitocin afterwards. 2 shots. So I did do that, which I'm okay with because I do have like thinner blood. So if it needs to happen again at home, then
medication
that's fine
is
and everything.
life-saving. Yeah, we want those things when we need them.
Yeah, but Elise also said, she's like, also the longer you are in labor, that could start to like, so she's like, you may not need it.
Yeah.
Depending on how fast it goes.
I would be interested too in this birth, and we'll have to have you back on the episode after she's born. But in like, if you happen to not consent or you just don't get a vaginal exam with this baby, if like your birth just continues because you got to 9 centimeters, seems, I'm sure it wasn't easy, but it seems like it just happened.
Yeah.
Like if pushing at home would just then happen.
Exactly. So now I just have a vision of how everything's going to be set up and birth tub. And we have a little fireplace that it's automatic. It doesn't let off any heat, but the ambiance. And it'll be fall, so I'll have like all my ceramic pumpkins out and everything, and
so cozy.
And we already have lights that like you can dim them and everything, so, and twinkly lights, and I'm making have all my sayings that I've been saving and write down, and just going from there. And I was like, am I supposed to like tell the neighbors, if you hear screaming, don't call the cops?
I've been to a few like apartment home births, and they put like a note on the door like, we're okay, we're having a baby. Or,
So
what would be your advice for like a first time mom going into her first birth, either at the hospital or at a birth center?
Definitely, even you hear people talk like don't have a birth plan, but I think being able to write it down and everything, it gives you that like there's then now a higher chance that it could go as you want it to because you wrote it out and everything, and stick to your guns. If you don't want any medication, then don't let anyone peer pressure you, and don't do more research, obviously, so that if something comes up, then like you're not going out of fear on making a decision and everything. So as we were talking before, right now from my OB's perspective, my fundal height is behind, and she put in a growth scan for me, but I don't feel like there's nothing for me to feel worried about, and unless like when I see Elise on Thursday and she has concerns, and then she's who I'm having with me, then I can take that growth scan into consideration. But at the moment, I don't feel nervous about it. She's moving a lot. I don't even have to like lay down and count my kicks. Even the OB yesterday, when she did the Doppler and everything, she's like, well, there's all your kick counts for the day. And I'm like, yeah, no worries there. So but yeah,
I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited too. I think you still get those random nervousness where you're like, I'm about to push out a baby. But staying off of Instagram where it's a great place that you get to share your stories, but obviously the scarier stories get more like traction. So then you're not hearing any stories of just all the women that are having boring, just normal ones. So you have to get off or change your algorithm to watching people eat Taco Bell. So whatever you got to do. Totally. But awesome. And both have been easy pregnancies. My biggest thing is body odor. So
that's so real.
Yeah,
that's my problem just in life.
But that's
thanks for
story.
coming.
Thank you for having me. This has been so exciting. I can't wait
to have you back.
I know we gotta book you for next year.
Yes.
Get the story told.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you both. And
I think it's our first pregnant guest too.
Yeah, that's
nice.
True. That's fun.
I was wondering if I was actually gonna be like,
unless someone hasn't announced yet.
True. So,
but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, but I will say as one last thing, I obviously knew I wanted to be a mom, even if it kind of was off the whole that's just what you do. But then being pregnant, it opens up a whole nother can of worms of just like how amazing it is and the miracle. And the one thing with Matt conceiving Weston and everything, his job ended up just abruptly stopping right after we found out we were pregnant. So like he could have moved on, like had to move on from there. So like God's timing and everything there. But also with this one, it didn't take us as many tries. But the week before, I was sick again.
Oh my gosh.
And then my grandma was passing away. And so I was taking testing for my ovulation and everything. And I don't know if like being sick pushed my ovulation back, at least on the strips. We can't be 100% with that and everything. But on February 16th, my grandma passed away. And I woke up, I had seen her the day before, said goodbye and everything. On February 16th, she passed away. Matt was leaving for a job. It said I wasn't like ovulating or strong, but I told him we still have to try. So even though grandma had passed, we still tried.
Sorry, grandma.
Sorry, grandma. But
in your honor.
But grandma went up and sent baby down.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
that makes me like
I'm such a firm believer in that. Like in my family, it's always been like somebody has passed and a baby has come in. And even my grandma passed July 4th and we conceived July 8th.
Yeah. So
it's crazy.
I think everything
I have
is
full goosebumps.
So
it's the circle of life.
And it's a girl.
Yeah. And we're giving her my grandma's middle name.
Aww.
So we'll be, it's just it's fun to see that and just see how much of a miracle it is and everything. But
wow.
Yeah.
Divine timing.
Yes. Always is.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And
Yes.
I cannot wait to hear this
Me
next
either.
story.
Yes. Thank you. I'm excited.
I'll give you a little hug.
Yes.
Group hug.
Yes. Those round ligaments.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on Girly Pop Birth Talks, where we hold space for the messy and meaningful journey of becoming her.
If today's story moved you, made you laugh, or reminded you of your own strength, we would love it if you subscribed, shared the episode, and left us a quick review.
We're so glad you were here.
Seriously, you're one of us now.
We can't wait to do this again soon.